This is UTEL Concerts. This is UTEL Concerts. This is UTELConcerts.com.
Mike.
Tony.
Tom.
I moved to LA in 2005 and I kind of wanted to get into rock and roll again because Mike and I were kind of playing some like avant-garde fusion jazz wannabe type stuff in New York. And then I was like, I want to play rock and roll again, so I started a little duo with piano and drums. And I started singing, but I didn't really think I was going to be the singer. I was just like, I'm just going to get a singer, but I'll write the songs, you know? And then I sent some demos to Mike, and Mike was like, oh, this is cool. And then he's like, send me another track. So I sent him one more. And he's like, dude, I got to be in this band somehow. I got to figure it out. And then, he flew out to LA, and we started messing around with stuff, and he started overdriving the bass. And then we realized, between the three of us, we had like a pretty big sound. And then from there, I just became obsessed with collecting vintage keyboards and making cool sounds, and then I acquired this clavinet with, a whammy bar, and then ran that through a guitar amp, and then that became kind of one of our staple things when you come to see a Crash King show. Because we have no guitar, that clavinet is replacing the guitar. So
it was definitely an interesting thing, and it was an experiment for us. We parted ways with our label, and we found some sort of loophole through releasing it through Canada to get our record out. And then the U.S. label, we were on Universal Motown originally, and then got moved to Republic, and then we got off the label, but we got them to release the record. So we were like, great, at least the fans can hear the record. And that was really our main thing, is we just wanted to get the music out and continue touring and just moving forward, and touring and promoting a record takes a lot of money, and to be able to even just make the awareness there for the fans is, you have to get promo, and you have to tour, and you have to do all those things. And so we're like, we need to raise a little money, maybe make a music video and that, and some people were successful with Kickstarter, as I'm sure you know, and we decided, well, maybe our fans will remember us, and maybe we could raise like 15 grand to do some promo. So we did, and we put the Kickstarter up, and I shot a thing of Tony. We got all these pianos and borrowed a camera from our friends, and just kind of did it ourselves and put it out there and put it on Facebook and Twitter and all that, and the fans responded. We raised like our goal on the first day, which was like, wow, it was like an overwhelming response, and we were just like, wow, this is really cool. And we ended up like nearly tripling our goal, which was just, we had no idea what to expect. The thing with it is that with record deals, or at least our record deal, they don't sign up to do both parts of the investment, which is I think that's kind of the tough thing about it, is they invest in the production, and then they hear it, and then they decide if they want to invest in the next part of it. And I'm just at a point where it's like, I just want, if someone's going to invest in us, I want them to go full on. You know what you're going to get. We put 2 records out now, and just, we need to see the whole project through, basically. And otherwise, I don't want to record something and then sit around and wait for it to be released, or have someone else decide if that's going to happen or not.
That's like the most frustrating thing.
And if the fans are going to help support the album from a Kickstarter or crowdfunding thing, and we can do that, I'm like, that's the way. That's really the way for us.
My initial response would be, no, we will never sign another record deal again. But that being said, the industry is always changing, and if someone brought something that was enticing or looked really good, and it wasn't like a 12-album deal, and
maybe if the record deal says, we'll give you $1 million, and you don't have to do anything, just make a record, then that sounds like a good deal to me.
That's a deal.
is a great story. I worked in this club called Avalon, which is now House of Blues in Boston. So Velvet Revolver was coming through, so it's like members of Guns N' Roses and Scott Weiland, who I later got to tour with later on in my life. We'll get to that some other time. Anyway, long story short, my job was to mop the dance floor every single day. So I walked in and like it was like Slash, just like sitting on an amp, and like this guy's like, so we got this delay pedal, and Slash is just like, yeah, is it gonna make me sound good? Cause I don't know any technical stuff. And the guy's like, yeah, and he's like, sweet, hook it up, I'll take it. And I was like, that's amazing. So I'm mopping this floor, just watching these guys sound check, and it's like legends, like amazing, amazing music. And I mopped the whole floor for like 30 minutes, and the second that I'm done, Slash walks over and just spits on the floor that I just mopped, takes a cigarette, throws it out on the floor, and I was like, that was the best thing ever. And they were incredible, and they were the nicest dudes ever, and I got to hang out with like Guns N' Roses for like a whole night. By the way, Scott Weiland was like an hour plus late for that show.
Oh wow.
And then they said, I remember it vividly because they were like, the band that puts the punk back in punctuality.
For me,
Yeah, let's hear this.
so far, one of the best rock shows I've ever seen has been Pearl Jam. And we saw them at Gibson Amphitheater, and we just had the best seats. We were like in the orchestra, dead center with Eddie Vedder, and that guy just put on, that band just put on a spectacular rock and roll show, and they just played hit after hit. And then the band walks off the stage, Eddie's there, a string quartet comes out, he plays acoustic guitar, and it's just, and then he plays like 4 songs, the band comes back out, Chris Cornell happens to be there, who we toured with. That was our very first tour ever. It was opening for him on his solo album Scream. It was a Scream, that was this record that he did with Timberland, and he comes out and they do Hunger Strike, and like he hits all the high notes, and it's just so epic, and it was just, that wasn't even that long ago. That was maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
I think I was 18, 19 years old. One of our favorite bands and one of our biggest inspirations in music was Medeski Martin and Wood. And they played a show at the Orpheum in Boston. And I was up in the balcony, and I think it was the best concert for me because I realized that at that moment I realized that this is what I wanted to do, you know, and I kind of had this like revelation at that concert, like this is my role in society. I'm supposed to provide this for people, like I'm supposed to be on that stage, and you know, it affected me that much.
And since then, we've actually met with John Medeski.
Yeah, we hung out with him.
We hung out with him in a studio, got to pick his brain on music. I brought my custom clavinet up to San Francisco, and we got to hear him play it and mess around. And then I had the honor of joining him on stage at the El Rey in Los Angeles and playing, what was it? Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Crosstown Traffic. And I was like on stage with Medeski Martin Wood. For me, that was for us. I mean, and watching the show too was just like a blast from the past, and that was a big, huge influence for us. So it was like really cool. But we were both at that show that he was talking about. I love it. I just love every single second of it. I love the drama. It is. I love Jack White, so I'm on his side.
Okay, yeah. Are you team Jack or team Dan?
I think it's funny. I think it's humorous. I think they're all friends, really. I think they're just doing it for publicity.
Oh no, I don't think so. I definitely don't.
What do you think about the situation?
Think of the children. Think of the children, people.